what was your other part of your question? I apologize.
I want to move on to Assad. Can I ask you about Assad?
Go ahead.
Because his claim today, or his vow today,
Yep.
to continue fighting to control the whole country, you, until this moment, consider Syria to be whole. You have not recognized any other group as being sovereign in Syria. Therefore, it really is what you have recognized, although you don't have relations with him, is still this regime that is in power in Damascus. Am I wrong on this? Have you recognized any other power in Syria to be sovereign over any particular territory or groupings of territories and so on?
So you are right in the fact that a couple of points. One is there's agreement, uniform agreement among the members of the ISSG, this International Syria Support Group, that Daesh and al-Nusrah cannot be part of any. They're not part of any opposition. They are terrorist organizations. Russians agree on that. Everyone agrees on that. They're not part of any cessation of hostilities. In fact, they're a separate piece of this, and we're focused on destroying them. But we are looking at, when we look at the conflict, when we look at a political process and putting it in place, we also recognize, and this was a major step in the creation of this stakeholders group, bring everybody who has a stake in what happens in Syria together in the same room, and that included Russia, that included Iran, included the Saudis, included multiple other countries, bring them together in the same room and try to talk through how to get a political transition. So do we recognize the Syrian regime as the legitimate government of Syria, to answer your question? We don't believe it has any legitimacy, but others do. And so what we've been trying to do here is not let that difference of opinions be an impediment to moving a political process forward. And so, while again, we've said very clearly, we think Assad should leave yesterday. He's not a legitimate leader of his people. But again, there are others who feel differently. So what we're trying to do here, again, is put in place a process that will lead to a transitional government, that will lead to a new constitution, and that will lead to, eventually, a government that is representative of all the Syrian people.
I'm not asking on the basis of
moral
issue,
no, it's okay.
On the legal issue.
Yeah.
Now, you also said something that you want Syria whole and secular. Now, all these groups really don't claim to be secular. I mean, with the exception of maybe the Syrian Communist Party, nobody claims to be secular. In fact, they are all different shades of Islamists and, with different shades of extremism right there. So who are you addressing, or are you talking to when you say secular? I mean, are there any other secular forces?
What we're talking about is that no one, as you say, group or ethnicity should have complete control. It needs to be a representative government in place in Syria, one that can, as I said, represent the aspirations of all the Syrian people.